What's up, everyone? Today, we're looking at the resort property that's touted as being the largest in Orlando. We're at the Sheraton Vistana Resort Villas.
Does it say check-in or?
We had an evening arrival after a tough 9-hour drive, but still, we were happy to be there and ready to get our trip started. The lobby was welcoming, had ample seating, and a nice decor. Our check-in was painless, but I could imagine it being longer for some. I was quoted that this property has 1,865 units, so it's massive. And this comes with a lot to talk about. Mostly good, a little bit of bad, and in this video, we're gonna try to get into all of it. Hey, so we're checking into the Sheraton Vistana Resort. Welcome back to Fitness and Beer, and I am super excited because we get to do another one of my favorite things, which is a resort review. So you know how we do. We do our best to do a comprehensive overview of what the hotel is. So if you have any interest in booking this place, you're gonna know what it's really like. Well, let's get to it. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
As a result of the size, we ended up driving around for a while trying to find our unit. But after an extra loop or two, we figured out where we were going and we were on our way. Walking. This was our second visit to the Sheraton Vistana Villas, and upon entering the unit, I thought it was nicer than I remembered. The unit had a full kitchen which was well laid out with everything needed and easy to use. The unit felt spacious, contained a 6-seater dining table, a sectional sofa, and is well suited for families. Okay, so we just got into our room at the Sheraton Vistana Resort Villas, and I have a couple of thoughts. The first thought is the floor plan, while it's a little funky, it's still very functional, but a little unique compared to the floor plan that I've seen in a lot of these vacation club facilities. And then the next thing that I was thinking is, while it's nice, it feels kind of basic, but it works, and really, I can't complain. Let's take a look around some more. We ended up really appreciating the floor plan and found it nice to have a hallway. The second bedroom was a good size, equipped with 2 queen beds, and had direct access to the second bathroom. The second bathroom was nice, respectably updated, and this resort had something that I really like, but don't often see. There was hand soap available on the counters. Beyond the second bedroom was the master, which I felt was pretty large. The master was equipped with a lounge-style chair, a small desk, and also had direct access to the balcony. There's a vanity outside of the master bath, and behind the door is an additional vanity, a decently sized shower, and a jetted tub. In the hallway, there's a stackable washer-dryer, and the balcony is screened with a 4-seater outdoor dining table. Again, I think this unit works great for families. Okay, so we've now gotten all of our stuff into the room, and really important note if you want to stay at this resort, and that is there's no elevators, and we happen to be on the 3rd floor, so loading in can be a bit of a challenge. We had a heavy cooler and some other stuff, so just something to have a heads up on before choosing this resort and before choosing your room. Thanks, that was loud. All right, we're about to get our morning tour on once again, and one of the things that I wanted to note about this property, or at least the building that we're staying in, is that there's stairwells on both sides of the building, and you can actually exit from your balcony. And, well, let's get on with the tour. So it's definitely a good idea to carry your resort map with you, at least for the first couple of days. I mean, This property is big enough where in some instances you might want to drive from point A to B, but it's mostly walkable if you can understand where you're going and take the most direct path there. But I didn't say it was short walks.
This resort does have a free shuttle service to travel within the resort property.
Okay, so this property has 7 pools, and you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this video, we're gonna try to show you each of the pools and break down at least the significant ones. We're not gonna go into too much detail about where each one is at and which village it's attached to, but just know, there's 7 of them.
We'll start with the Fountains Pool. The Fountains Pool is one of 3 feature-style pools in the resort. The feature pools are larger and each accompanied with some type of dining option. The Fountains Pool is on the smaller side of the resort and is accompanied by the My Tiki Hut and Azula for food and drinks. Also on the smaller side of the resort is the Lakes Pool, which is the more chill of the 2 pools on this side of the resort.
According to the desk, I've been told that it's the biggest in Orlando, and as a result, it actually has 2 separate entrance gates. So as you see on this corner, there's one entrance gate directly behind me, and then if you want to look over this way, I don't know if you can see it very well, but then there's the additional gate to the fountains phases and the lakes phases over this way.
Now, we're looking at the larger side of the resort, wherein you'd have to exit one security gate and enter another to get to this side from where we were previously looking at. And we're going to start with the Cascades Pool, which in my opinion is the most centralized of the 3 featured pools. This pool is nice and is accompanied by Castaway's Bar and Grill. The last of the 3 large pools is the Super Spa Pool, which is accompanied by Zimmy's Bar and Grill. The Fountains, Cascades, and Super Spa pools can all get pretty crowded.
So a quick simplistic breakdown of this resort. This resort is essentially broken into 2 halves. There's a larger half and a smaller half, and from what I can tell on the map and by walking the property, they do not seem to be connected. So on the larger half, you're gonna have a marketplace, you're gonna have 2 feature pools that both have like a bar and grill attached, and then you're gonna have a couple of additional pools, and then one that's a more kid-friendly pool with a water slide.
Then there's the Quartz Pool, which is kinda like the calm in the middle of the storm. This pool has a tendency to be a little more laid back. The Falls Pool is the family fun pool. This pool is equipped with a water slide and a pretty good splash pad. Now, the Super Spa, Quartz, and Falls pools are all in near proximity to each other and the activity center.
Okay, so I've been on a wild goose chase trying to find the 7th pool. I probably walked about 2 miles around this place, and I think I may have finally found it. Remember that tip I gave about using your resort map? I forgot, so I pulled it up on my phone. Just, I don't know, pro tips.
And lastly, the Springs Pool. I don't have much to say about this pool since I never visited outside of the early morning, but my guess is it's probably pretty chill. There's hot tubs and keycard activated towel dispensers at every pool.
So, the smaller side of the resort is pretty comprehensive in itself, that it has almost all of the things that you expect. So much so that you could almost make a vacation for yourself without ever having to cross over to the larger half, and vice versa. But I don't really recommend that. It's a beautiful property, so I definitely think it's worth taking the effort and time to cross over and to maybe visit a pool that's not the closest to your villa.
This property is straight up great for kids, and there's a variety of different type of playgrounds all throughout the resort. Then there's the activity center, where you can participate in activities such as arts and crafts, get sports equipment, and nearby is one of the better resort mini golf courses I've ever seen. This place has a lot of different courts for sports. There's pickleball courts, tennis courts, and there's several basketball courts strewn throughout the property.
It looks like somebody dunked on that rim and just left it.
There's shuffleboard courts and sand volleyball courts. There's even 2 arcades, one on each side of the resort. The better arcade with the redemption counter is actually in the fountains phase, which is on the smaller side of the resort. There's 3 fitness centers on the property, all adequate, but 2 of which I think are pretty nice. The 3rd fitness center near the Cascades phase is just okay. There's a sauna and several grilling areas spread throughout the property.
Okay, so I just found this kind of neat little bridge / seating area that kind of overlooks a pond, and there's a couple beautiful birds in the lake. And I just wanted to take a moment to say that one of the advantages that I get by doing these resort reviews is that instinctively I take the time to actually pretty much walk the entirety of the property, because I want to make sure that I'm able to communicate the appropriate vibe and feel of the place so that I can share it with you. And that just lets me see so many cute little things about these resorts that are probably often missed. So one of my recommendations to you is go for a walk. Next time you're at one of these great properties, just put in some headphones, whether it's a jog or a walk or a stroll. Just make that happen.
Now let's talk about dining. There's My Tiki Hut and Azula, which are essentially the same place. Then there's Castaway's Bar and Grill and Zimmy's Bar and Grill. Lastly, there's the Marketplace. We'll start with the Marketplace. The Sheraton Vistana has one of the better marketplaces with a huge variety of items. It's also the resort's coffee shop. There's everything in here from clothing to souvenirs to food and drink. The market is a pretty comprehensive convenience store where you're likely to find exactly the things that you're looking for. Then there's Azula, which serves as the eatery on the smaller side of the resort. It's accompanied by the My Tiki Hut, which is essentially the bar. There's outdoor seating and a nearby fire pit.
Get that pretty shot of the fire pit.
He threw a snowball at me and I got my revenge. So I think I got that, but but I didn't get revenge on that guy on the table, but I still got what fessed me down.
So the bartender Warren was real cool, and he gave me a snowball out of the slushy machine, and I tossed it at her, and Castaways is more or less a daytime bar and grill, which accompanies the Cascades pool. It has outdoor seating and both food and drink. Lastly, there's Zimmy's, which also accompanies the pool, but also has a dining room where you can be served. Now, the menu is pretty similar between all of these restaurants, so no need to prioritize one over the other. I actually wish there was a little bit more of a menu variety.
All right, mission accomplished. Got our morning coffees, headed back to the family. I sincerely hope this overview was helpful to you. And until the next one, fitness and beer.
Still, overall, I think the Sheraton Vistana Villas makes a great family option for a visit to Orlando. Thanks again for watching.